Hey everyone, this is Claudia and Claudia's Universe, and welcome back to my channel on January 11, 2016, my birthday. So happy birthday to me. I'll just start that way. And this is one of my birthday outfits from one of my sisters. So I have some more around here, but we'll see them in another video. Right now in this video, I am sending love and light and appreciation to an amazing American writer, and that writer is Toni Morrison. So I will be reading Toni Morrison's work, God Help the Child, with my BFF, Anita Lynn Contreras, and my little sister, Yeaaah Evelina Pascasio. In this book, Anita has given to me as a gift. She says, "To my lifelong BFF, Claudia, I hope the reading and discussing of this book will restart our favorite pastime from years before. Enjoy it. I look forward to sharing thoughts. Love you bunches, Anita." And in this book, I would like to share with you, for those of you who may not know Toni Morrison, just a few of her works, or her fictional works. Her works begin with The Bluest Eye, Sula, Song of Solomon, Tar Baby, Beloved, Jazz, Paradise, Love, A Mercy, and Home. And those are her fiction works. Her nonfiction works: The Dancing Mind, Playing in the Dark, Whiteness, and The Literary Imagination. I love Toni Morrison, let me just say that. God Help the Child. So tonight on my birthday, I'm starting the reading of the first chapter. I'll read the first chapter starting this book. And she has it written to you, for you. So you know I feel special. Luke 18:16, "Suffer little children to come unto me, and forbid them not." Part 1. Sweetness. It's not my fault, and you can't blame me. I didn't do it, and I have no idea how it happened. It didn't take more than an hour after they pulled her out from between my legs to realize something was wrong. Really wrong. She was so black, she scared me. Midnight black, Sudanese black. She was so black. I'm light-skinned with good hair, what we call high yellow. And so is Lula Ann's father. Ain't nobody in my family anywhere near that color. Tar is the closest thing I can think of, yet her hair don't go with the skin. It's different, straight, but curly like those naked tribes in Australia. You might think she's a throwback, but throwback to what? You should have seen my grandmother. She passed for white and never said another word to any one of her children. Any letter she got from my mother or my aunts, she sent right back unopened. Finally, they got the message of no message and let her be. Almost all mulatto types and quadroons did that back in the day. If they had the right kind of hair, that is. Can you imagine how many white folks have Negro blood running and hiding in their veins? Guess. 20%, I heard. My own mother, Lula May, could have passed easy, but she chose not to. She told me the price she paid for that decision. When she and my father went to the courthouse to get married, there were 2 Bibles, and they had to put their hands on the one reserved for Negroes. The other one was for white people's hands. The Bible! Can you beat it? My mother was housekeeper for a rich white couple. They ate every meal she cooked and insisted she scrub their backs when they sat in the tub, and God knows what other intimate things they made her do. But no touching of the same Bible. Some of you probably think it's a bad thing to group ourselves according to skin color. The lighter, the better. In social clubs, neighborhoods, churches, sororities, even colored schools. But how else can we hold on to a little dignity? How else can you avoid being spit on in a drugstore, shoving elbows at the bus stop, walking in the gutter to let whites have the whole sidewalk, charged a nickel at the grocer's for a paper bag that's free to white shoppers, let alone all the name calling? I heard about all of that and much, much more. But because of my mother's skin color, she wasn't stopped from trying on hats in the department stores or using their ladies' room. And my father would try on shoes in the front part of the shoe store, not in the back room. Neither one would let themselves drink from a colored-only fountain, even if they were dying of thirst. I hate to say it, but from the very beginning, in the maternity ward, the baby, Lula Ann, embarrassed me. Her birth skin was pale like all babies, even African ones, but it changed fast. I thought I was going crazy when she turned blue-black right before my eyes. I know I went crazy for a minute because once, just for a few seconds, I held a blanket over her face and pressed. But I couldn't do that. No matter how much I wished she hadn't been born with that terrible color. I even thought of giving her away to an orphanage someplace. And I was scared to be one of those mothers who put their babies on church steps. Recently, I heard about a couple in Germany, white as snow, who had a dark-skinned baby nobody could explain. Twins, I believe. One white, one colored. But I don't know if it's true. All I know is that for me, nursing her was like having a pickaninny sucking my tit. I went to bottle feeding soon as I got home. My husband Louis is a porter. And when he got back off the rails, he looked at me like I really was crazy and looked at her like she was from the planet Jupiter. He wasn't a cussing man. So when he said, "God damn, what the hell is this?" I knew we were in trouble. That's what did it. What caused the fights between me and him. It broke our marriage to pieces. We had 3 good years together, but when she was born, he blamed me and treated Lula Ann like she was a stranger. More than that, an enemy. He never touched her. I never did convince him that I ain't never even fooled around with another man. He was dead sure I was lying. We argued and argued till I told him her blackness must be from his own family, not mine. That's when it got worse. So bad he just up and left, and I had to look for another, cheaper place to live. I knew enough not to take her with me when I applied to landlords, so I left her with a teenage cousin to babysit. I did the best I could and didn't take her outside much anyway, because when I pushed her in the baby carriage, friends or strangers would lean down and peek in to say something nice and then give a start or jump back before frowning. That hurt. I could have been the babysitter if our skin colors were reversed. It was hard enough just being a colored woman, even a high yellow one, trying to rent in a decent part of the city. Back in the 90s, when Lula Ann was born, the law was against discriminating in who you could rent to. but not many landlords paid attention to it. They made up reasons to keep you out. But I got lucky with Mr. Lee. I know he upped the rent $7 from what he advertised. And he has a fit if you a minute late with the money. I told her to call me Sweetness instead of mother or mama. It was safer. Being that black and having what I think are two thick lips, calling me mama would confuse people. Besides, she has funny colored eyes, crow black with a blue tint, something witchy about them too. So it was just us two for a long while, and I don't have to tell you how hard it is being an abandoned wife. I guess Louis felt a little bit bad after leaving us like that, because a few months later on, he found out where I moved to and started sending me money once a month, though I never asked him and didn't go to court to get it. His $50 money orders and my night job at the hospital got me and Lula Ann off welfare, which was a good thing. I wish they would stop calling it welfare and go back to the word they used when my mother was a girl. Then it was called relief. Sounds much better. Like it's just a short-term breather while you get yourself together. Besides, those welfare clerks are mean as spit. When finally I got work and didn't need them anymore, I was making more money than they ever did. I guess meanness filled out their skimpy paychecks, which is why they treated us like beggars. More so when they looked at Lula Ann and back at me, like I was cheating or something. Things got better, but I still had to be careful, very careful in how I raised her. I had to be strict, very strict. Lula Ann needed to learn how to behave, how to keep her head down, and not to make trouble. I don't care how many times she changes her name. Her color is a cross she will always carry. But it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not. And that's the first chapter of God Help the Child in Sweetness's voice, Lula Ann's mother. And the next chapter starts Bride's voice. So I don't know who Bride is, but I'm anxious to find out. And I love this writer. Sweetness's voice is intoxicating, and I'm ready to go further and find out what's going on. And I refuse to compare Toni Morrison with herself and her other books. I will just read her and appreciate this book for what it is at this point in Toni Morrison's writing career. Thank you all for being with me on my birthday for this reading. Love you. Bye.